If you're trying to use double strokes for your jazz solos, but they just don't sound right, it's probably because you're getting your ideas from the books and not the records. So you're missing out on all the nuance that makes it really sound like jazz. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down how Jimmy Cobb uses double strokes in his solos to make them sound really swinging so you can apply them straight to your playing. Let's jump straight into the first example. Okay, so I'm looking here at my Jimmy Cobb vocabulary sheet PDF. And by the way, if you want a copy of that, there's a link in the description. You can download it and follow along. And this first phrase is really using doubles as an embellishment, okay? So in this first phrase, he plays this, okay? Super simple. The way that I think of that is it's this kind of 3/4 accent pattern. Right? Ending with the hand-foot thing. But then those doubles, he just kind of sneaks them in there for some embellishment, and they're really stretched out. Right? The next example does the same kind of thing. It's a very common skeleton rhythm with embellished doubles. Let's listen to that. This phrase right here sounds like this. Right? And it's this common like Miles ending. Da 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 da. And you just add some doubles in there, real stretched out and slurred, and you get that idea that he played. Now, this is a really slick way to use your doubles in a way that sounds authentic. You can take any skeleton rhythm and just add some doubles as embellishment, and it'll give it more of this kind of vibe, this stretchy thing that Jimmy Cobb is doing here, okay? So for example, if I took this rhythm like 1 and 4, and then I just added doubles between each note, then it would be, right? It's got some more vibe to it. Something like this becomes, that sounds more like jazz music. And that's how Jimmy Cobb uses those doubles to make it sound more authentic, okay? Let's check out another example where he does less of the stretching and he makes more of a driving straight feel. Okay, so the second way that he uses doubles is fast drags. So he plays this phrase. Right? Super, super slick. It's very like marching bandy. And the thing that sticks out to me is like the other one was stretched out kind of triplet, slur, swing kind of vibes. This is straight 16th note, double strokes, right? And you see this a lot in jazz players like Philly Joe Jones, Max Roach, and of course, Jimmy Cobb is alternating between really swung and really straight. And that difference, that's what makes it sound jazzy. So a phrase like this, right? I'm using the double strokes. I could break it up and do it in different ways, right? But using that fast double stroke, it sounds really good when it's contrasted with something more stretched out and swung, right? And that's exactly how Jimmy Cobb uses it. Let's check out the next example where he does more 16th note based stuff, but in a different way. So that brings us to the third way that Jimmy Cobb uses double strokes, which is 5-stroke rolls, right? So he plays this. Right? This is a super common phrase. You'll hear all sorts of jazz drummers doing this. What I like about it is he's playing the 5 strokes, like right, right, left, left, right. That's a 5-stroke roll. But he's not playing them like really marching bandy, like really articulate. He kind of slurs them together. And it almost sounds more like a saxophone player doing like a bend or a scoop. Right? And that's really how he makes these double strokes swing. Let's check out the next example that's also a 5-stroke and how he takes that even further. So this one, he plays like this, right? And that is so cool. I wrote it out this way that you see on the screen. But it doesn't even really make sense to write it out like that. It's not really a rhythm. It's more of like this blurred kind of gesture, just like a saxophone bend, right? So it goes, and that is a really cool gesture to use. You see all sorts of jazz drummers doing things like this. Right? So if you take those 5 strokes, you stretch them out and you bend them, it's going to make them sound more authentic. In this video, I'm covering the subtleties that make things swing in your vocabulary. But you need to be able to do this for every single lick you ever learn, not just the ones that I spoon feed you on a YouTube video. That is what I work on with my students in the jazz school. We talk about how to get these ideas from recordings from people like Jimmy Cobb, and then figure out all the subtleties that make it sound like authentic jazz, and then how to put them together in solos, in comping, that makes sense so you don't get lost in the form and you can go out and play jazz with people. So if that's you, you want to start playing jazz with people and sound really authentic, there should be a link in the description where you can apply to the jazz school, my mentorship program, where I will help guide you personally to do these things. And that brings us to the fourth way that Jimmy Cobb uses double strokes to sound authentic. Let's hear the example. Okay, so the fourth way is paradiddles and pugadas. And I'll show you what I mean by that and why I group those two things together. But the example we played is this. Okay? Now, very simple phrase. This part, it's like a hand-foot thing. You see all kinds of drummers playing that. I like the way that he leads into it. He goes, I'm pretty sure on this recording, he's playing this sticking, which we call a pugada. It's like right, left, left. Okay, so right, left, left. All right, and then pugada is just a simple way to use a double stroke to stay on your strong hand, right? So I have that double left, which keeps the accents on my strong right, okay? And you can take it a step further. He does this by using a left-handed paradiddle, just adds an extra note. Let's check out the next example and see what I mean. So this next one, it's almost the same phrasing, but just with an extra note here. So, right? Starts with a left-handed paradiddle. And the reason I group this with the pugadas is because a left-handed paradiddle is just a pugada with a one note before, okay? And he kind of uses it in the same way. He leads into these hand foots. Right? So you can use them pretty much interchangeably. And he does. Let's see some examples where he mixes them together. Right, so that example, he's using pugadas, he's using paradiddles, and they all lead to the strong downbeats, right? So, and what I like at the end is you have that zabu buda, bamu buda, bamu buda. You get this kind of 3/4 vibe. For those of you who have been watching my videos, we talked about that last week with Art Blakey. He used the same 3/4, but just with a rub-a-dub instead of a pugada. Okay, so that's all 4 ways that Jimmy Cobb uses doubles for his swing and jazz solos. But here's the problem. I talk to dozens of jazz drummers every week, and I hear this all the time. I get ideas from YouTube videos, but they don't come out in my playing. And that is a plague on the jazz drumming community. Here's why it's happening. You don't practice putting them in context, okay? So none of this stuff means anything if you don't play it on the bandstand. I'm going to show you how to remember it when you get on the bandstand, okay? So you got to put it in a context. So we have our 4 kind of categories of how he uses doubles. The first is embellishments, right? The second is fast drags. All right, after that we have 5 strokes. And then last but not least, we have the pugadas and paradiddles. All right? First step is to just be able to play those. Play the ones that are on the vocab sheet that the link is in the description, okay? The second step is you got to get comfortable with each one. So what I would do is I would take one of those ideas and I would kind of flip it around, see how many different ways I could play it so it's flexible. Like the fast drag thing, instead of just playing this one phrase, I would see how can I use fast drags in my own way. All right, boom, I just generated so many ideas, all from this source of Jimmy Cobb, this swing and stuff that he played. Or if I took the pugadas and paradiddles, right? Break that up in a bunch of different ways. Right? Boom, it's so flexible that I can use it in lots of different ways. So I don't have to just recall this one way. But you need to then put it in context. So I'm going to give you an exercise right now to actually do that, okay? So I'm going to play trading 4s with myself. 4 bars a time, 4 bars of solo. 4 bars a time, 4 bars of solo. So for each of the 4 solos, I'm going to use one of the categories we talked about, right? So the first 4, I'm going to use embellishments, okay? The second 4, I'm going to use fast drags. The third 4, I'm going to use 5 strokes. And the last 4, I'm going to use pugadas and paradiddles. Now, the rule is I have to use each category in those 4 spots But I don't have to use just that category. I can play other ideas because I want to mix in my solo ideas with the stuff that I already play all the time so that it kind of assimilates into my vocabulary and I remember it when I'm playing solo. Okay? Without further ado, let's play 4 sets of trading fours and see if I can apply this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, we did it. We put together all of those solo ideas. Great. That's it for this lesson. If you want the vocabulary PDF that goes along with it, make sure you click the link in the description. If you want to become a complete jazz drummer this year, I made a full video breaking down the exact method that I use with my students. Click here to watch it next.